going to be giving you a weekly blog, the alphabet A to Z of autism, in conjunction with Let Silent Words Be Heard and Word for Word. Obviously, some weeks we're going to have a letter that's got a lot of autistic association. Some weeks we may not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the main ones that I feel highly associate with autism, and others I may leave. For example, today I've got, excuse me, but I must look at notes because it's quite a big thing today. Today, for example, we've got appetite. Well, because I've got so many years to cover, I feel that the appetite can come under feeding and food in general. So firstly, hi, if your child is waiting diagnosis or has just been diagnosed, by no means whatsoever are we here to make you feel overwhelmed. That is our last intention. And some of the things that I'm going to talk about will probably, your child may not ever have problems with. That's why it's a syndrome rather than a condition. The syndrome has to cover a wide variety of different aspects of autism, in the difference between a fully autistic, low functioning child to a child who turns out to be a boffin who is very high functioning. And you have to excuse me if you hear the dogs in the background. I haven't locked Samuel in a cupboard tonight, he's gone off to his daddy's, so but you may hear my dogs whinging. Let's start with autism. The definition of autism, there's three main shares that all autistic children do share. It is the social communication, which is basically speech, eye contact, socialising with other children one-to-one, with parents, etc. That is the main share. The second share is developmental delay. Most children with an autistic syndrome will have some form of developmental delay. And the third is the difficulty in social interaction, which is slightly different from the social communication, where your child won't want to go and mix with other children, he won't understand, or possibly the game that they're playing, finds it difficult on the high spectrum to be able to make friends, on the low spectrum just doesn't understand what's going around. So they're the three main shares of autism. Now let's get rid of all these punctuations, all these little shortenings that the experts like to do. So we've got AS, which is obviously autistic spectrum. You've got ASD, autistic spectrum disorder. Then you've got Asperger's. Then you've got ADHD, which is now part of the autistic spectrum, which is obviously attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. We go on to something I haven't heard, which is HFA, high functioning autism. PDD, which is pervasive developmental disorder. So that's a new one on me, that one, PDD. CA, which is class, I can't even read it. It comes under something called Kanner autism, K-A-N-N-E-R, something again I'm not familiar with. So they're words that, the main ones are your AS, ASD, Asperger's, ADHD and high functioning autism. And then, like I say, your atypical, your three main shares are your social communication, etc. Now the first word I want to come to on the A on our AlphaTisms is acceptance. You haven't done anything wrong as parents. You have to accept that your child has autism, but autism isn't your child. Accept the fact that you haven't done anything wrong. You've probably done more than enough during pregnancy, birth, etc. There are genetic reasons why your child could be born with autism. They're now looking into different chromosomes, etc. The research is getting done. It's just, you know. Now, neurodevelopmental disease is another way of saying autism, and it usually manifests between year 1 and year 3. So when your child's a baby, all babies differ, so you don't know if your child's going to walk at 8 months or 18 months, but usually from the age of 1 and by the age of 3 you will notice that there is a difference with your child. So seek assistance, which is another A. Your first port of call, possibly your health visitor. If your child's showing signs of being slow in developing, not making eye contact, not picking up speech as they should, contact your health visitor. She would do the normal checks, hearing, etc. If you get nowhere there, then obviously go on to your GP, because a big thing is the diagnosis. So seek assistance if you've got any worries whatsoever. That's a big one to do. The next one, I would say actions. I'm not going to talk about the child's actions under this A, because that will come later under hand flapping, movement, motion, emotions, exactly, etc. What I want to talk about actions is the parents' actions. What are your rights and what do you want to happen next? If you get nowhere, like I said, health visitor, GP, you've come across a big brick wall, what do you do? Where do you turn? You feel alone, you feel that you're isolated, you've got nobody to turn to. My advice would be, if you have health insurance, use it. Make an appointment to see a neurological paediatrician, basically, a neurologist who deals with children. They are the A1 of diagnosing autism. Secondary to that is a paediatrician who covers a wide range of child illnesses, not just autism. So they will be my first two. If you can afford it and haven't got health insurance and the waiting list is just ridiculous to see somebody to get your child assessed, if you can afford it, I would seriously pay to see somebody sooner, because the sooner you get that diagnosis, the sooner you get, I'm not going to say a label because I hate that word, but as soon as you get your child diagnosed, the sooner you're able to get the assistance, the acceptance of others and things like that, because it is difficult when you've got a child that's misbehaving with no diagnosis and no reasons. You find that your friends don't want you to go around, or you feel like you can't go out into public, you can't go to public places, but then when people say what's wrong with your child, I don't know. I had that for 7 years. So, you know, seek assistance. Actions speak louder than words. Act on your feelings, act on your gut instinct. Nobody knows your child better than you, and it's simple as. So act on it straight away. Once your child's been diagnosed as autistic, you will be, like I say, inundated with all these AS, ASDs, etc, etc. So what I'm going to do now is talk about attitude. That's another big one. The attitude of your family, extending family, how your attitude is towards this syndrome, and all I've got to say is your attitude, stay positive. It's not a death sentence, it's not the end of the world, it's positive. I have 2 autistic children. I'm in my 25th year with one and in the 8th year with the other, and I wouldn't change a day, even though it's been hard. But attitude, you've got to make sure that all your family's on board, and they don't just see it as your child's naughty. You can now say, no, my child is autistic. Get yourself read up on it, come and watch our blogs, see what it is to live a year in the life of an autistic child, and you'll see things and you'll think, my child does that. So this is the reason that Dean and Amy are putting Charlie on daily, for people out there to say, oh well, my child isn't that different. Oh, he likes to hand flap, he likes to do this, he likes to do that. So we've got our acceptance, we've got to raise awareness to the people around you as well. Make playgroups aware, make again your family aware. You don't have to go broadcast it. I'm not saying tell the world you've got an autistic child. Just make the people that matter aware that your child may not like to go to that party, but thank you very much for asking. It is a difficult one. Now, usually I'm going to go on to attention span. Doesn't matter whether your child is high functioning or low functioning autistic, their attention spans are terrible. Just to get eye contact off some autistic children is an impossibility. To hold eye contact for more than a couple of seconds, they have no attention span whatsoever. But it will get better. It does get better, because they are taught ways, and you are taught ways to keep that child's attention. You will find that one thing that your child just loves to do, or loves to see, or loves to sing, and by using that you will automatically gain your child's attention. But again, if you're finding it difficult to keep your child's attention, that is another autistic trait. Anxiety, this is a big one. Most parents are very anxious about their child. What's the future going to hold? What do we do next? Etc, etc. I'm not going to talk about the anxiety of the child in this one. I'm going to cover that in the behaviour, because anxiety in an autistic child is massive. Anxiety alone is up there. That's one of the biggies in an autistic child. They get anxious about the slightest change, and I'm talking about if you've moved a teddy in the bedroom, if you've cleaned a space or moved a book. It makes a child anxious because there's been change. So again, I will revisit how bad anxiety can be in an autistic child when we get on to change, behaviour, etc. But for a parent, the less anxious you can be, the better, because your child will feed off your emotions. It's like they have a sixth sense, and if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling nervous, you know, if you're feeling sad or whatever, your child will pick up on that, and their mood will elevate to what it is that you're feeling. So under P, we're going to talk about being positive and staying positive and keeping your child positive, so that the anxiety levels in the house in general stay low. So let's get anxiety under control. If you're anxious about anything, please ask people, ask us. If you've got something in general that you are really worried about at the moment, something your child hasn't done before, something you don't know whether it's normal with this syndrome or not, please ask. just send us a message, private message. We will answer you privately if that's what you want, or I will, on a week where I haven't got much to cover, I will answer your question personally if I can. I am not an expert. I'm a parent and I have a very low functioning autistic child and a very high functioning autistic child. So after 25 years, I've pretty much seen it all, good and bad. So anxiety is another feeling. Now again, anger, your child will get angry. You don't know why, you don't know for what reason. Only last night Samuel absolutely went berserk for no reason. So the anger, the anxiety, etc., all come under your child's behaviour. And there's going to be times when you get angry. You're going to get angry with your child. When your child is hitting you and attacking you, it is hard. It's upsetting because you're thinking, well, I love you so much, I've done so much for you, why are you attacking me? Why are you angry with me? Why are you anxious around me? Sometimes you'll never find the answer. It may just be they were tired, they were having a bad day. It may be that a couple of days later it happens again and you actually think, oh well, wasn't that happening around the same time? And eventually you will work out what it is that triggers your child's anger and your child's anxieties. With the anxieties, that comes along with the next one, which is association. Your child will very soon learn to associate things. They are very, very clever at association. So you need to take your child to the dentist. They're frightened. They don't know what the place is. Clinical places are usually places where your child will start to feel anxiety, and one bad experience will lead to that child associating that place with that bad experience forever. It will take years. So when you're going somewhere new, when you are going to a dentist for the first time, to a different doctor for the first time, to a different hospital for the first time, I would try and associate your child with it slowly, especially if they are, they do get very agitated, which is another A. If they get very agitated and easily anxious, easily angered, then association is best done slowly. Take them to the door of the dental office, talk about the colour of the door, sing a song, then go home. Next time, shall we see what's inside the door? Go and have a little look around the reception, then go away. If you find the right people, if you find the right dental surgeon, hospitals, whatever, they will let you do this because they understand that your child just cannot be picked up and put into a situation. It needs working. It needs working at. So the association, unfortunately, if your child has had a bad experience, let's say he's tried to have a scan done, they've tried to have bloods taken, which we know hurts, once they've got that association in their heads that I am not going in there, full stop, you are not taking me there. I associate that with pain. This just means pain, it means upset, so no, I'm not even getting out of the car. So think about association, and think about working your child in slowly into new places, new surroundings, especially somewhere where you're going to need to go a lot, like the paediatrician's office, etc. It took me 6 visits to actually get Samuel to sit in the optometrist's chair. The first time we got to the hospital doors, no way. The second time we got inside the doors, not too bad, etc, etc. Third time we managed to go down the corridor. Fourth time we actually got into the room. So again, this runs along with the child's anxiety, which will give them a bad association if they're feeling anxious. So have your emergency kit ready. Always have an emergency kit. Child's favourite drink, child's favourite toy, child's favourite book, something you can wind up, soft music. I find earphones, Samuel's 8 now, earphones are fantastic. Whether he wants to listen to music or not, having his earphones on makes him feel safe, he's secure. So they're the main ones, I would say. Acceptance, get assistance, raise awareness, make people's attitudes change, because that's what we're here for. We want people's attitudes to change. Our boys aren't naughty, and I do apologise if I keep saying the word boy. There are girls with autism. The ratio is actually 4 boys to every 1 girl that is diagnosed with an autistic spectrum disorder. It's just I have got boys, so, but your child. So I think on the A list, you know, I'll read them. You've got your acceptance, your awareness, assistance, attention span, attitude, anxiety, your actions, your child's actions and reactions, awkward. Yes, some situations can be very awkward, and your child, an autistic child, they are automatically awkward, whether it be in the way that they walk. We call it clumsy, so yeah, it's awkward. And the high functioning ones always manage to put you in an awkward situation, because the high functioning children don't know what grey is. They see black and white. So for example, my lovely son walked up to a large lady one day. I hadn't met her before. Excuse me, you need to lose weight. And I was absolutely mortified. It's unhealthy to be obese, so you must lose weight. Goodbye. And I was just left absolutely, talk about awkward. So then I had to explain to this lady, I do apologise. My autistic child says it as it is, and they do. I can laugh about it now, but in the moment you will have some awkward situations, and your children will turn awkward. So again, good planning, good organisation, and think ahead. Could this turn awkward? Could we, you know, when I tried to explain to my child about showing empathy, not being rude, he didn't understand, because all my child knew was right from wrong. Now to him, telling the lady she looked nice, to him was lying. He didn't get it, you know, and they don't understand. To him, I don't lie. Lying's bad, you know. So you will have awkward situations. believe me, but you will, like I am now, you will be able to laugh. So basically they're the A's. Please don't be overwhelmed. Take your time, digest it. If there's any A's out there that you can think of that you can associate with an autistic child, by all means tell me if I've missed it. I could go through the dictionary and nearly every word we could associate with an autistic child, but what I really wanted to do was give you the main ones that I feel cover the major issues that you may face raising your child. Please subscribe to our channel. The more subscriptions we get, the more help we'll be able to give. It's a non-profit organisation. We're not getting paid for this. We don't want to get paid for this. You know, I've made sure I've cleared my night tonight to be able to do this for you, and it is for you. We want to get the word out there and help as many people as possible, and in turn get help ourselves. There may be things that we don't know that we need to know. So please don't be frightened to leave us a message, ask us a question. If you want to give your name, if you want me to video chat with you or mention your name when I do my next blog, which will be on B, by all means tell me. I'm just a mum and I'm just a gran, so hopefully those is acceptance, awareness, assistance, attention span, attitude, anxiety, actions, anger, attitude, association, and autism, autistic spectrum disorder, Asperger's, ADHD. They're going to be your primary words that you're going to face. So I'll say good night for now. I hope this has been beneficial. I really do, because I would love to be able to carry on and see you all next week with the letter B. And no, there won't be any swearing. So please let us know what you think of this blog. If you don't enjoy it, say so. If there's something you want to change, tell us. You know, we're here to help you, genuinely. So we'll say bye for now, and I will see you next week with the letter B. Good night all.